Yo! What's up, guys? It's the Insane Game Freak here. Yes, Durarara Season 2 Part 3 has started. So these will be my reviews for those episodes. And this episode might be longer because I'm going to try and address every little single thing about Durarara Season 2 Part 3, like where we currently stand in all the relationships. So this first episode review might be longer because I want to make sure I got everything straight so going forward. And please correct me in the comment section. I'm not a fucking Dura authority. This is all, and also this is based off of memory from like almost a year ago. So help would be appreciated. Moving forward, let's do this. Alright, so this episode was actually pretty safe and chill and kind of, fuck you, phone. You can't start a Insane Game Freak video out the phone interrupting you because I gotta fucking remember to fucking put that thing on vibrate anyways. So, season 2, for the most part, was pretty basic. Like, this episode pretty much only really focused on, like, 2 or 3 things. It focused on why everyone was in Celty's house, Shizuo's current situation, and Izai's current situation. We got a little bit of Mikado and the Aoba, but nothing really substantial. It mainly was a Celty episode. That's really what I'll call it. And really, this episode just kind of solidifies what I believe about Celty in general. I think Celty and Mikado are both main characters. I know I've heard that the creator believes that Celty's the main character, but like the fact that like the people who were in the middle of everything is Celty and the dollars, to me that's Celty, Mikado. So let's kind of go through each section. The first thing with Shizuo is the Shizuo thing is only slightly confusing because I can't tell who's trying to keep him there. It's obvious that Shizuo was framed. It's obvious that whoever Shizuo is, whoever's in contact, whoever's trying to keep Shizuo there has control over a Psycho user. Now, my first thought was Izaya, but I don't think Izaya still has old girl trying to keep him stuck there. I don't think like that's the thing. Although I do remember back at the end of season 2, part 1, where Yodo Giri was like, if you had just kept Shizuo and Akane apart, everything would have been fine, but you had to fuck things up. So something tells me it's the assistant who's using Saika to keep Shizuo there. And we also learned that the police dude who's been chasing Salty is pretty good. Now, I'm pretty sure he doesn't realize that that's a Saika user. He doesn't realize that that's anything about Saika. He probably doesn't know shit about Saika. That probably was a coincidence. It's the fact that they overheard them saying they'll beat themselves up and blame them for it. Because they're obviously trying to get a rise. They're trying to keep Shizuo there because Shizuo will create more problems when he's out versus when he's in. That's what I'm thinking is the whole idea behind keeping Shizuo locked up. Now, as far as everyone in Celty's house, well, Shinra kind of explains it, but we're going to try to delve into deeper. So, Shinra's dad, I guess, is cool with Namine and Seiji and stuff, because he ended up saving Seiji. But then again, it's also probably due to the fact that he has some personal relation with, I forget the dude's name. The dude and the girl that we find out from last season part, is actually the figurehead, the original Psycho Welder. He has history with that dude. Alright, I remember seeing that dude from last season. We also, the 2 guys that are with him, we know one of them is confirmed to be Igor, but it's kind of obvious, and I can already see just by the way the dude's color and skin looked. The other guy that's with Shinra's dad in that scene is the Karate Girl's older brother, which then gets into the other stuff with Izai near the end of the episode where we find out Izai was faking being knocked out because he was going to use this to his advantage. We also know that Sloan and Izumi, which is Aoba's brother, both work for the Aquasawa group. Now, my biggest issue here is I know Izai is aware of that, but I'm not sure if that is like, if he's supposed to know that they work for him. Now, granted, the guy that they're working under, the guy with the scars on his face and the shit in his mouth, something tells me that he's doing that on the side and shit. So my thought process is that Izumi and Sloan work under him, but then Izai is not supposed to know that. Even though I'm pretty sure Izai already fucking knows that. We also know that we see the Karate Girl again, who we still don't really understand her reason for working. Because my original theory was that all the characters that are with Izaya currently, like the Sakura and everything, those are all Aquasawa group members being lended to him because we know that he does work for them as a broker, but I don't think that's the case. I think that they all have their own specific reasons, and then you got a few who are double agents like Izumi and Sloan. Well, we also still don't know who is the one who hit and run Kotaka, which explains why Walter and Togasawa, I think Togasa, are both there, or Togusa, I forgot how to pronounce his name, which is funny because Celty didn't know his name either. That's the reason why they're there. Namine was saved by Shinra's dad, that's why she's there, and Mika and Seiji are there because if they're kidnapping if they're kidnapping the Yodagiri family, Seiji and Namine were both already in trouble. It also kind of brings up this whole thing, it brings up the whole thing about where Celty's head is, and what the current situation is involving Celty's head. We know that Shinra, Namine, and fucking Shinra's dad have all known where Celty's head was at. And granted, this wasn't an issue to begin with because Celty didn't give a fuck about her head. It's become an issue now because it's like, I know you got my head, and I know you've been keeping it from me. And even though I don't have any plans to actually put the head on and use it at least until after you die, Shinra, I'm not fucking happy that Izaya has my head, and Izaya's been lying to me this entire time. I'm pretty sure Izaya doesn't care at this point. Izaya's just having fun with it. There's a lot of fucking gags, like the whole thing about how it's like, oh, why are you mad? Like, Namine's like, why are you mad at me? Your fucking boyfriend knew where your head was at. He goes, I know, and I beat him up every day. She's like, no, what you probably did, you slapped him once, and then you fucking sexually harassed him the rest of the time. And she was like, and she gets embarrassed, but it's like, whoa, Celty's a freak. Which is, or the fucking thing where Walter's like, hey man, I got some Durarara manga and girls with extremely long necks if you want to borrow. He's like, listen, I don't need the long necks thing, but Shinra's like, let me get the Durarara manga. And she's like, Shinra! And he's like, look, it's not like they're gonna replace you, but I like to relive my sexual situations with you through the manga. Yes, that's it's kind of curious. I'm also interested to see why Igor. I'm pretty sure I know why the karate dude. Actually, I'm not. No, I'm not. I want to know the reason why Igor and the karate girl's older brother were working with Shinra's dad, because I'm not totally sure why. But it probably means that karate dojo has some bad history in the Aquasawa group. That's a guess in itself. I'm pretty fucking sure that there's something that went on in the past with Shinra's went on with the Aquasawa group and the karate dude's dojo. And also, I find it interesting that, oh, look, Akane, the daughter of an Aquasawa group leader, just happens to fucking want to ends up going, out of all the dojos you could have took it to, of course you take it to this dojo. So something tells me they're probably in debt, there's some shit that happened, and in order to pay off a debt, they have to work, they kind of part-time work for the Aquasawa group. Although the karate girl there seems to be some implications that the karate girl probably fell in love with Izaya at some point, is now fucked up and caught in her feelings. Whether she's caught in her feelings right now, I don't think that's what it is, but it might have something to do with the karate do stuff too, like the dojo. That's just a guess. Also, that's just an interesting plot point they use. Mikado and Kita's situation is pretty simple. Mikado has no logic in his mind anymore. He's just doing what the fuck he wants to do, so fuck you, don't ask me questions. This episode also hints at something that still doesn't really fully make sense to me. This episode hints that Aoba is starting to feel some type of way because he cares about his Izaya's sisters, and he likes his Izaya's sisters, and he doesn't want them to get hurt. That was the whole thing with the scene with them talking in the chat room. My thing is that there hasn't been enough visually shown to us to show what they've done for Aoba to cause him to have these type of feelings in the first place. It's already been implied in the last part that they were at least hanging out in some aspects because his members mentioned the Izaya's sisters. And Aoba's like, don't get them fucking involved. And even in this episode, he's like, well, he's like, look, after everything goes down, if you still want to hang with me, I would be so fucking happy about it. We need to see that. Like, that's my biggest thing with that. It's like, I need to see it, because right now, we haven't seen shit. We have seen absolutely nothing. And it's kind of, it's just kind of fucking confusing. Like, I know what they're doing, but it's ridiculous. I'm trying to think, was there anything else I missed? There was a lot of funny moments in the middle. The ending is pretty much showing that Sloan is being controlled by Kuguri, whereas they'd already shown from the end of the last season, the end of the last part, I mean, of season 2. I don't recognize the guy who's with Izai and the Karate Girl. I thought it was the guy looking for his daughter, but I don't think it's the same dude. But I think he may or may not be your friend. That's what I'm confused about. Who the hell he is, who he's in relation to, and what's going on. Other than that, the episode was pretty straightforward with everything else. I just kind of need clarification of certain situations. Which Sake user is trying to keep Shizuo there? I need to see more Aoba and the Izai sister interacting to see what they're doing for him. We still don't even know much about Aoba's past, because we don't know how Izai has fucked him over. We just know Izai fucked him over. Mikado and Kita are fine. We already know where that's going to go. That's fine. And it looks like the next episode is going to be focused on Chikage, Erika, the girl who tried to kill Izai at the beginning of Season 2, Part 2, and Chikage and Anri. Which is interesting, because Anri's also caught in the middle of this, because Kuguri doesn't just want Celty. She wants the sword back. So Anri's already has a target on her back. But yeah. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below, and look forward to more reviews. This has been Insane Game Freak. Let's game, play to win, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.